Each moment comes only once in a lifetime. In Japanese philosophy, this is called Ichigo Ichie. One time, one meeting. This morning will never return. The mental state you're in right now, the energy you have, the youth you still possess, all of it exists as a one-of-a-kind version. Yet modern life treats these priceless moments as if they were unlimited, as if today could be wasted and fixed tomorrow. That's how time moves forward while you stay still. Every morning you wake up and repeat the same familiar loop. The alarm rings, your hand reaches for the phone, you hit snooze for a few more minutes, then you sink into work, social media, responsibilities. Day after day, week after week, and suddenly a year passes so fast it startles you, leaving you asking, how far have I really moved forward? Deep down, everyone has imagined a better version of themselves, stronger, more disciplined, freer. But the harsh truth is this: many people grow older with time, yet never grow stronger in character. The pain isn't failure. The pain is realizing you never truly gave your all, while your chances to start over quietly keep shrinking. 5 years from now will arrive, no matter what. No one can stop it. And when that day comes, there are only 2 ways to look back on your life. One is calm acceptance. I truly changed. I lived with intention. The other is bitter honesty. I'm still here, carrying the same regrets, just older. There is no third option. The samurai understood this deeply. They didn't believe in luck or wait for miracles. The outcome of a battle wasn't decided by promises or grand plans, but by small choices repeated every day. When a samurai drew his sword, he had one chance only. No hesitation, no retry. That single moment decided honor or defeat.
Life works the same way. The difference between who you are today and who you'll be in 5 years won't come from a new course, a productivity app, or a burst of motivation. It comes from one quiet, life-defining decision. Will you keep drifting, or will you wake up with intention starting today? Because sometimes one moment used correctly is enough to change the direction of an entire life. If this video offers you a valuable perspective, don't forget to like it, share it with someone who needs it, and subscribe to walk this path with us each day.
1. The most expensive daily choice: hit snooze or wake up with intention. Morning is not a neutral time. It's a dividing line between 2 completely different ways of living. The instant your alarm goes off, a quiet but incredibly costly choice appears. No noise, no witnesses. Yet that single decision is shaping who you will become. In Bushido, the way of the warrior, hesitation isn't just a weakness, it's considered the enemy of honor. On the battlefield, being even a fraction of a second late meant a blade at your throat. Samurai understood that decisiveness isn't instinct, it's a discipline trained daily. That's why they didn't live by fleeting emotions, but by clear, unwavering choices, even in the smallest moments. Every time you hit snooze, it looks harmless on the surface. Just 9 more minutes, just a little comfort. But underneath, a silent transaction takes place. You're not buying extra sleep. You're selling your discipline at a discount. You're teaching your brain a dangerous lesson. When something feels uncomfortable, I can delay it. And that lesson doesn't stay in the morning. It seeps into your work, your goals, and the most important decisions of your life. Samurai didn't have the concept of 5 more minutes before battle. Not because they weren't tired, but because they understood a brutal truth. Your mental state before the fight determines everything. A warrior who enters battle in a mindset of delay has already lost. Modern life has no swords, but it has countless invisible battles, with laziness, distraction, and the fear of living up to your potential. Neuroscience confirms what samurai once knew by intuition. The first 90 minutes after waking are the brain's golden hours. Focus is up to 40% higher.
Willpower is intact. Mental energy hasn't yet been drained by messages, notifications, or social pressure. This is the moment of drawing the sword for the mind, the time when the hardest, most important, most focus-demanding work becomes possible. And yet, here's the paradox. Most people voluntarily hand this treasure over to meaningless noise, scrolling social media the moment they open their eyes, absorbing other people's drama, doom scrolling without control, letting the mind get yanked from one emotion to another. In just minutes, the brain is fractured, rewired for distraction for the rest of the day. The outcome is predictable. How can a warrior who's still fumbling around camp, distracted by noise, expect to win on the battlefield? You don't lose because you're not smart enough. You lose because you destroyed your greatest advantage before the day even began. Waking up with intention doesn't mean loving alarms or hating sleep. It's an act of reclaiming control. A quiet declaration, I don't let the world decide my mental state. Every morning you get up the moment the alarm rings, you're training Ketsudan, decisive action without hesitation. Over time, that ability spreads into every area of your life. No great victory is built on small delays. No strong destiny is built on surrendered mornings. The moment you step out of bed is the moment you choose who you're becoming. And for a samurai, and for anyone who wants a life of real value, that choice is never negotiable.
2. Successful people aren't superhuman. They just don't waste their mornings. Success isn't created by extraordinary people. It's created by those who respect and protect moments the rest of the world treats as ordinary. They don't possess secret abilities. They don't live in perfect conditions. They don't wake up every morning overflowing with inspiration. The only real difference is this: they don't squander their mornings. In the Japanese spirit of shokunin hishitsu, the craftsman's mindset, value isn't found in applause, but in total presence within each action. Samurai didn't fight for praise. They forged blades, trained their bodies, and upheld discipline in silence. No one clapped as they repeated the same movement thousands of times. Yet that full devotion produced strikes that were precise, efficient, and impossible to ignore. The same applies in the modern world. Truly successful people don't retreat to mountains or live detached from society. They get tired. They feel unmotivated. They don't love the sound of the alarm either, but they understand one core truth. Early morning is sacred territory for focus. It's the rare window when the mind hasn't yet been shredded by the noise of the world. While most people let their phones dictate their emotional state the moment they wake, those who master their lives protect their most valuable mental state of the day. No notifications, no messages, no breaking news, no outside opinions intruding. Like a dojo at dawn, doors half closed, light still soft, a blade sharpened in complete silence. This has nothing to do with being a morning person. It's about ownership of mental energy. Successful people don't wake up early to show discipline. They wake up early to do the most important work while the mind is still pure. They know that 1 hour of deep focus in the morning outweighs many exhausted hours late at night. A samurai doesn't train with a chaotic mind. A master craftsman doesn't work while being yanked by distractions. And those who truly go far in life don't give their best mental state to meaningless things. They don't start their day with drama, arguments, or comparison. They start with intentional action, study, strategy, creation, or physical training. These quiet mornings, repeated over time, create an enormous gap. While others burn energy reacting to the world, they deliberately build their own. No announcements, no validation, just consistent protection of that golden territory each day. That's why success rarely looks flashy. It's like a sword sharpened every morning, slowly, steadily, almost unnoticed. But when the moment comes, its sharpness is undeniable. The winner isn't the busiest person, but the one who gives their best hours to what matters most. And years later, when you look back, you'll realize there was no magic at all. Only mornings used correctly. Only small moments treated with the spirit of shokunin kishitsu. Complete mastery of each minute with deep respect for yourself
and the path you chose.
3. The first hour of the day is a mental launch pad. The first hour of the morning isn't just the beginning of a day, it's a silent launch pad for your entire mental state. When this window is misused, the rest of the day is almost automatically programmed for distraction, sluggishness, and reactive behavior. When it's properly protected, you step into the day with a completely different inner force, calm, sharp, and proactive. In Japanese swordsmanship, the highest mental state is called mushin, the mind without noise. This isn't unconscious emptiness, but absolute clarity, where every movement is precise because it's unhindered by mental clutter. Samurai didn't reach mushin through emotional highs, but by removing noise from their minds. And morning is the most natural time to enter that state. Biologically, your body is designed to fire up most powerfully in the morning. Dopamine levels are elevated, creating motivation and readiness to act. Cortisol is present at just the right level, enough to keep you alert and focused without panic. At this moment, the brain is like a door that has just been opened, not yet filled with anxiety, information, or other people's emotions. This is a rare window in which you can shape the entire mental rhythm of the day. Think of your brain as wet cement. In this state, whatever gets poured in leaves a deep imprint and quickly hardens into a fixed shape. If you start your day with drama, arguments, sensational headlines, or negative feeds, you're freezing distraction into place. Your mind will carry that chaotic state all day long, no matter how hard you try to focus later. But if that first hour is used for planning, learning, movement, or intentional thinking, you're freezing growth instead. You're carving a powerful message into your brain. Today is a day for action, progress, and control. It doesn't take much, just the right things at the right time with full attention. Samurai understood this principle well. Before entering the dojo or stepping onto the battlefield, they didn't allow their minds to be disturbed by external noise. They chose to sharpen the sword, not to listen to chaos. Each stroke of sharpening didn't just refine the blade, it refined the mind. In silence, reflexes became more precise. In stillness, confidence was built from within, not borrowed from external encouragement. The first hour of the day is therefore not for reacting to the world, but for establishing your stance before the world can pull you off balance. When you take control of this moment, you don't need to stay motivated all day. The right state has already been activated. Decisions become easier, cleaner, and less energy-consuming. No meaningful change begins in chaos. No lasting inner strength is built in noise. One properly protected hour in the morning has the power of a mental launch pad, pushing you beyond old inertia, beyond reactive habits, and into a state of command. That's why samurai didn't chase inspiration or wait for the right mood. They simply kept their minds clear, day after day. And over time, that clarity creates real difference. No noise, no display, just quiet strength, powerful enough to reshape the person you're becoming.
4. Compound power. Small hours, big results. True power doesn't come from explosive moments. It's formed through the quiet repetition of small actions taken in the right direction. The Japanese have long understood a rule the modern world often ignores. There are no sustainable leaps without accumulated foundations. That's why they don't place their faith in short-term breakthroughs, but in Kaizen, improving by 1% every day. Kaizen isn't exciting. It doesn't deliver instant victories, but it has a quality no flashy method can match. Once sustained long enough, it can't be reversed. Getting slightly better each day sounds so small it's easy to dismiss, yet that very smallness is what allows Kaizen to survive real life, where people are tired, busy, and constantly tempted. Let the numbers speak. Just one intentional hour per day, not more, not perfect, creates 365 hours per year. That's nearly 15 full days devoted entirely to self-mastery, learning, training, strategic thinking, upgrading your mindset. Not 15 scattered days lost to exhaustion, but 15 days built from your highest quality hours. Extend that streak over 5 years, and the result moves far beyond marginal improvement. You're effectively building something equivalent to a master's degree in your own life. No certificate, no applause, but the competence, mindset, discipline, and depth you gain can never be taken away. It's an asset immune to markets, trends, and time itself. Samurai grew the same way. No perfect strike appeared overnight. A sharp blade was the result of thousands of hours of silent sharpening. A little each day, each movement repeated with total attention. No rush, no show, but when battle came, the difference was undeniable. While most people choose entertainment to escape fatigue, those on the path of Kaizen choose to invest in their future selves. When others kill time, you're laying bricks for destiny. No one notices it first, no one recognizes it in the short term, but time is a brutally fair judge. It always sides with those who patiently accumulate. Compound power is quiet, but it never fails. Each small hour, when used correctly, amplifies into a massive advantage over the years. And one day, looking back, you'll realize life doesn't change direction because of one big decision, but because of hundreds of small decisions held consistently every day. Kaizen doesn't promise fast success, it promises irreversible transformation. Because once you've gone far enough on the path of continuous improvement, you don't just become better, you become someone else. Someone forged by discipline, patience, and faith in the power of each small hour. And that is the greatest advantage you can give your future.
5. The Morning Power Ritual, the Samurai Way. Lasting strength doesn't come from temporary inspiration. It's born from rituals repeated daily with absolute respect. In the Japanese spirit of Rei, ritual isn't empty formality. It's how one recenters the inner world, reminding oneself that they're entering a sacred space of discipline and self-mastery. For samurai, the morning ritual wasn't just about warming up the body, it was how they stepped into the day as a warrior already prepared. The first ritual seems almost too simple to matter: drinking water. After a long night, the body is dehydrated, the mind dull, reflexes slow. That first glass of water isn't just biological, it's a cleansing ritual, like a samurai washing his hands and face before entering the dojo. As water moves through the body, it sends a clear signal. Yesterday is over. A new cycle has begun. Clarity doesn't come from coffee, it comes from waking up your internal system first. Next comes light movement. No intense workouts, no sweat-drenched sessions, just gentle stretching, a few steps, a few minutes to awaken the breath. Samurai knew the body is the gateway to the mind. When the body is sluggish, the mind can't be sharp. When the body starts moving, blood flows, breathing deepens, and the mind naturally clears. A moving body awakens a waking mind, not a slogan, but a biological and spiritual law. The third ritual is decisive. Write down one single goal for the day. Not a long list, not scattered ambition, just the one thing that matters most, the task that, if completed, makes the day meaningful. A samurai doesn't carry two swords to strike one target. He commits fully to a single decisive cut. Writing one goal narrows the battlefield, eliminates distraction, and gives your mind a clear direction from the very start. Once direction is set, the fourth ritual is to learn something valuable. Not breaking news, not entertainment, but something that sharpens you. A page from a book, a new concept, a small skill. Samurai sharpened their swords daily, whether battle came or not. A blade sharpens through grinding. The mind sharpens through learning. Morning learning has unique power. It enters the brain while the mind is still clear, creating depth rather than noise. The final ritual, and the hardest in the modern age, is protecting the golden hour. No social media, no messages, no email. Don't let the outside world invade before you've defined yourself. Samurai kept their mental dojo clean. They didn't allow noise before drawing the sword. A mind invaded early is difficult to reclaim for the rest of the day. This entire morning ritual doesn't take much time, but its effect is deep and lasting. Every morning you practice it, you send yourself a powerful message. I respect myself and the path I walk. No witnesses needed, no praise required. Inner strength is built in silence, through small but consistent actions. Over time, ritual becomes identity. You no longer struggle to stay disciplined. You simply become a person with rituals. And like a samurai stepping into a chaotic world, you carry an unshakable inner order with you, a kind of power that can't be bought, borrowed, or taken away, because it's forged every morning through the simplest acts.
6. This isn't just a habit, it's an identity. What you do every morning doesn't just create a new day, it shapes the person you're becoming. When an action is repeated long enough, it crosses the line from habit to identity. It's no longer something you try to do, it becomes who you are. In the spirit of Bushido, the way of the warrior, honor isn't declared in words, it's built quietly through daily discipline. Each time you wake up and act with intention, even when no one is watching, you're casting a vote for your future self, a vote for discipline, a vote for self-mastery, a vote for the version of you that refuses to run from responsibility for its own potential. You don't need majority approval. Repeat that choice often enough, and the outcome becomes undeniable. The difference between those who move forward and those who stay stuck isn't intention, it's consistency in action. Many people live in a constant state of almost disciplined, almost consistent, almost the best version of themselves. They have motivation, they have dreams, but they lack one critical thing, a vow carried out through action, not fueled by fleeting emotion. Samurai understood that a vow only matters when it's kept in moments no one sees, no audience, no applause, no instant recognition. They didn't need praise to keep training. Silent discipline was the measure of honor. And once that honor was built, it created the deepest form of respect, first and foremost, from within. When a habit becomes identity, you no longer fight yourself every day. You don't debate whether to act. You act because that's who you are. Someone who keeps promises to themselves. Someone who gets up when the alarm rings. Someone who does what needs to be done, even without pressure. True freedom doesn't come from doing whatever you want. It comes from no longer being dragged around by laziness and distraction. Bushido teaches that honor isn't measured by short-term results, but by posture toward life. You may not have reached the final destination yet, but the way you walk each day says everything. Every intentional morning is a quiet declaration. You choose to be proactive, not a victim of circumstances. You choose forward motion, not drift. Over time, this identity spreads into every area of life. How you work, how you learn, how you face difficulty. Everything carries the imprint of discipline you've forged. Others may not understand why you're so steady, resilient, and reliable, but you know exactly where it began. Mornings that were never up for negotiation. This path isn't flashy. It doesn't deliver instant wins, but it builds a foundation no crisis can easily shake. Samurai didn't need praise to know who they were. And when you live in alignment with the identity you've chosen, respect, from the world and from within, arrives naturally, durably, and cannot be bought.
7. The first 90 days. Quiet change that can't be reversed. The first 3 months always pass in silence. No fireworks, no dramatic awakening, no sudden transformation like the stories you see online. The first 90 days of real change rarely feel intense, and that's exactly why so many people quit too early. They walk away thinking they're on the wrong path, when in reality, they're just moving through the most invisible phase of progress. The Japanese shinobi spirit is built on a core principle. True power operates quietly. Shinobi don't show off. They don't seek recognition.
They move patiently, accumulating advantage until the decisive moment arrives. Change in life works the same way. You won't feel different day to day because what's changing first is your internal structure. During the first 90 days, your mindset begins to shift. The way you respond to mornings, to work, to distraction slowly changes. Choices that once required force start to feel natural. Your energy shifts too, not in bursts of excitement, but in stable, sustainable strength. You burn out less. You swing less emotionally. You gain the ability to focus deeply without having to push yourself. Eventually, that internal change reflects outward. After about 3 months, the person in the mirror no longer feels the same, not just physically, but in the eyes, posture, presence. There's a new calm, more grounded, more certain. You begin to move through life with the sense that you're in the right place instead of being dragged by circumstance. And the remarkable part is, this change happens without any announcement. Samurai trained the same way. No one watched their daily practice. No one witnessed the thousands of repeated strikes inside the dojo. But on the battlefield, the difference was undeniable. Everything revealed itself when it mattered. Life works the same way. When you stay consistent for 90 days, the world starts responding differently, not because you demand it, but because your capability and presence have changed. Here's the crucial point. 90 days isn't the destination, it's the point of no return. By then, you've gone too far to fit into your old version. Old habits start to feel uncomfortable. Familiar distractions become irritating. You no longer want to trade focus and inner order for short-term pleasure. From here, you begin to carry a different kind of energy, what people now call main character energy. Not arrogance, but ownership of your own story. You're no longer a background character in someone else's life, no longer chasing the crowd's rhythm. You move with clarity, each day having direction, focus, and meaning. Big change rarely arrives with noise. It arrives through consistency no one sees. The first 90 days test patience, faith in the process, and the ability to continue without visible proof. But if you walk that stretch, you'll understand something profound. Quiet strength lasts the longest, and when the moment comes, even you'll be surprised by how far you've gone.
Time keeps moving. The question is who you'll be in 5 years. Time moves forward in silence. No announcements, no negotiations, no rewind. 5 years will arrive whether you're ready or not. When that moment comes, you'll be standing somewhere in your life, stronger, steadier, or still carrying familiar regrets. Time plays no favorites. It's fair to the point of cruelty, giving everyone the same number of days, then quietly watching how each person uses them. Japanese philosophy calls this awareness mono no aware, a deep sensitivity to the passing of time and the fragility of life. Not to make you pessimistic, but to wake you up. When you truly feel time slipping by each day, wasting it becomes much harder. Samurai understood this better than most. To them, every morning was a day borrowed from fate, and honor was created by how they used that day. The issue has never been whether you have enough time. The real question is the choice you make each morning. Do you get up and do what needs to be done? Or do you delay and promise yourself tomorrow? Those small choices, repeated daily, quietly shape the direction of an entire life. There's no dramatic moment signaling you've gone off course, just mornings wasted, one by one. While you hesitate, the world keeps moving. Someone is quietly building their future every day. Someone is sharpening their skills, expanding their thinking, stacking advantages. And many others are simply watching people live the life they once dreamed of. The difference between these groups isn't starting point, it's initiative in the face of time. Samurai didn't wait for inspiration. They acted because they understood time is an opponent you can't defeat,
only respect. Every day lived without intention is a day that never returns. When you let a morning slip away to snooze, distraction, and delay, you don't just lose 9 minutes. You lose a piece of a future that could have been built from that very moment. 5 years aren't made of big decisions. They're built from thousands of small ones. Getting up or staying down. Focusing or drifting. Investing in yourself or escaping the discomfort of effort. Life doesn't change direction in a single day. It turns a little every morning. No one can live your life for you. No one else is responsible for the years ahead. As time keeps moving, the only real question left is who you're becoming along the way. Someone who deliberately builds their future, or someone standing on the sidelines, watching others move forward. Don't hit snooze again. Not because 9 minutes matter, but because of what they represent. Some things you're losing can't be measured in minutes or hours. They're your identity, your direction, and a future being decided quietly, starting this very morning.